And I'm Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hattas.
Where we shouldn't have smoked that shit because now we're on the endless road.
Amen. Well, today we are talking about It Ends, which is a new release. We are joined, though, by a fellow podcast and real-life friend, Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hello. Thank you for having me again. It's a pleasure. And what if I was still watching the movie because it never ended?
I would feel okay about it, honestly. When they were doing that press thing in New York City where they were doing the endless screening, I was like, I could do that, no problem. I'm in.
Oh, not at all a problem. I could totally do that. I do that anyway, in life.
That's how I felt. For the folks at home, it was basically in a New York City theater watching this movie on repeat for 36 hours, and you got paid for how long you stayed in the theater. Not like a lot, but a little bit. And it had like money for concessions and all that jazz. And you were with your buddies.
No bathroom breaks.
I'm sure there were bathroom breaks. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You got to pee yourself.
No, I don't think that was a stipulation.
Well, they provided you with It Ends branded
catheters.
Catheters.
Good.
They put one in before.
I was going to say commode, but you know what? Catheter, at least.
You put your, they zipped your phone into a pouch, and then they gave you a catheter and said, it won't end.
That's good. Yeah, I would do it.
Maybe the most harrowing thing you hear before walking into a movie theater.
Well, a catheter doesn't sound that bad for me compared to a dude, so I think I could.
At the end of the day, I'm just happy I'm walking into a movie theater.
That's me.
We come to this place for magic, truly.
And that is some real magic, having a catheter stuck up your pee hole for 36 hours to watch
transitioning
movies.
Into Brian, tell us where the audience can find you, what you do.
You can find me right here in the episode that you're listening to right now.
About pee holes.
Yeah. So I'm Brian. I'm the producer and one of the hosts of Talking Horror with Jamie and Nikisha. We are a horror podcast and social media where we think about horror movies through the lens of human behavior and mental health. You can find us at Talk Horror Pod wherever you get podcasts and social media, which is a lie because we're only on TikTok and Instagram. But you can
only
find
to the
us
matter.
Podcast wise, you can find us wherever you're listening to podcasts. And my assumption is the Hannas will have a link in the description of this episode.
What if we just didn't? Just to be mean.
That's fine. Then find us, search us. You'll find us.
I'm gonna have a link that says follow Brian here, and then it just links to our social media.
I think you should do that.
yeah, or Rickroll them.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
Good.
What year is it? You're showing your age.
Okay. That's maybe true.
Never.
No, unfortunately, I know we're a decade apart, but that would also be my age bracket as well.
Yes.
Well,
so
that just means that I'm young at heart, baby.
Maybe.
There you go. That's beautiful. Well, everyone go follow Brian and his co-hosts. They are a very fun, hilarious show, and we love the mental health component as well. Obviously, we talk a fair bit about that on our show because of my interests and career path, and Brian's wife, Jamie, is a therapist, so she's got a lot to bring to the table.
Oh, and we'll definitely be talking about it for this episode today.
Big time,
feelings. So today we're talking It Ends, which is the directorial feature from Alexander Ullom, starring Phineas Yoon, Akira Jackson, Noah Toth, and Mitchell Cole.
A bunch of absolute no names.
No names,
complimentary.
baby. No Wikipedia pages for them.
Not yet, at least.
Back the box description.
Well, that's because this movie is real.
Oh, that's right.
Them. Yeah.
This was a documentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a Blair Witch situation, except they filmed it a little different.
And they put this kids on the endless road for real.
For real.
The director created the endless road for this movie.
I have such funny background from interviews I was reading with Alex Ullom. He cracks me up. He's a funny social media follow too, because he's just so like, y'all aren't real with this. Like some of the things people are saying about the movie, he's like, simmer down. And I do think it's really funny. Like some of the compliments he gets, he's like, what are you talking about?
It's very Can't Miasma. Very Jane saying.
It's also like
Billy saying.
Very Gen Z of him.
Yeah.
You're
overcomplicating this. It's about flesh and fluids.
Okay, well, Back of the box description, it follows a friend group who go on a late night drive but accidentally turn on a highway which appears to go on indefinitely. So this movie is crazy because it released it at festivals in early 2025, and then I actually got to see it at a festival in late 2025.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, I saw it at Philly Film Fest actually because of Brian, because you
that's right. I forgot.
Yes, you name dropped it, and I was like, I didn't see that when I was like looking through my movies, and then I found a day that I could make it work. And I actually had to like sprint between two theaters. It was like a whole clusterfuck. But I actually saw Alex Ullom introduce the movie.
Oh, I didn't realize that he was there. That's so cool.
Yeah, he was. I was so upset I couldn't stay after for the Q&A, but then I ran over to the secret agent, which I knew would like do really well in the awards circuit. So
sure,
I wanted to see it. Honestly, I probably, like looking back, I would have gotten more out of staying for the Q&A with Alex Ullom, but that's fair. You know, a different story.
Also just realized that that's when we met Brian in real life for the first time.
Was it Philly Film Fest?
Philly Film Fest. Mm-hmm. Which is weird because that means we've only known each other in real life for like less than a year.
Yes.
Which is crazy because I think spending multiple days in New Orleans together ages your friendship.
Yes.
And I was like, I feel like I know you for a lot longer than a year. So
what?
Yes.
Wait, what?
We met outside Frankenstein.
We met outside. Yeah, outside Frankenstein.
Wait, were you at Frankenstein?
Yeah, I was.
You were at Frankenstein.
Yep.
Okay. Because then we saw Primate with your friend because you had a business trip.
Or you had Frisbee you were away for, I think.
Yeah, business.
Yeah.
Business. Haha.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even remember when we first met because we just know after New Orleans, like, it doesn't matter. We know each other now.
Yes. That's how I feel with a lot of people from that trip. It's very fun. But especially you, because like we quite literally spent like the whole weekend together.
Yeah. You want to hear a crazy story?
Yeah.
So I saw Paranormal Activity on Broadway the other day. It was fucking fantastic. Everybody needs to see it. It was so good.
I think we have to.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to find some time.
We've been eyeing the ticket sales.
It was really good. But I posted about it. And then Dylan was in the theater that night on a layover, and we fucking missed each other. We were like 5 rows apart from each other.
Dude, my friend saw it the day before you saw it, who's also Paranormal in Pennsylvania podcast friend. So, like, I know so many people who saw it within the same span of 2 days.
And didn't see each other.
And, like, obviously didn't overlap.
Also, shout out Dylan is Slasher Reviews.
He was on our Leviticus episode.
Yes, if you want to go follow. I feel like we have to.
He was on our the Slender Man episode.
All right, just to get distracted really quick. Did you do an episode just on Slender Man in general or a specific Slender Man film?
Or was it Empty Man?
The Empty Man.
Oh,
I was going to say, I feel like I know.
No, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Dylan's
it was the
obsessed
Empty
with
Man.
that.
I was like,
one.
we're doing
so
Marble
many
Hornets. We're doing
There's
a
so
lot of
many
men.
There's the Bye Bye Man. There's the Empty. There's too many men.
Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Agreed. What are we going to do about all these men?
Too many men.
The movie Men.
Men's. Yeah, I actually.
Oh, I didn't see it. I've never seen it.
Apparently, you're fine having not seen it, but I actually kind of like that one. Anyway, I just really like a pretty movie, and that man makes a pretty movie. But it ends. See,
it ends.
Cool movies.
It ends.
So so it was doing the festival circuit. I saw it. Had no release planned. I was very sad because I loved it. And then in December of last year, Letterboxd announced that they were doing the Letterboxd video store and that It Ends was going to be a part of their first drop of films that would be available to digitally rent through Letterboxd video store.
So that's what I first thought.
That's when I first saw it.
I actually suggested it to you just based on the reviews it got from other film festivals earlier that year.
Yes.
Like it was like hot. People were really talking about it on social media. And when I saw it, I think I mentioned you in passing, like, damn, this is the one I really wanted to see, but I have to miss it.
And I was like, wait, remind me of that name again. I think I might be able to swing it.
Yeah. And then you saw it, loved it. So I was always going to rent it on the Letterboxd app, but you absolutely pushed me to do it faster. And then that was the first time I watched it. In that frame type.
And that's how Matt saw it too, because he was away, I think, when I saw it. at the Philly Film Fest. They put it on the platform in December, and then within a week of that, Neon acquired the rights to distribute theatrically, which was really exciting.
It
That's
is.
kind of like
It's awesome.
the purpose of the Letterboxd Video Store, right? Like they started that platform for unreleased independent films that didn't have distribution yet, so those films could get distribution. So I think it's really incredible that on its first drop of films, the purpose was immediately fulfilled. And I was so excited that this film got distribution. Obviously, we had to wait quite a bit of time. It released this month in theaters. It released in LA and New York by the time we're releasing this episode, but it will be getting its full nationwide release, I think, day after releasing this episode. So we are a wee bit early.
Yep. I was also going to say, it's just proof that the theaters are still alive, as we've been saying for a while. It gives me a lot of hope that movie theaters are not dead, which a lot of people tried to claim during COVID. So AMC just had its best quarter. Yep.
Yeah.
AMC just had its best quarter in since pre-COVID. And as a actual stockholder, that makes me very happy.
Yeah,
so,
Matt went through that phase.
I was part of the meme stock craze. Bought a lot
of AMC stock that
still
didn't
negative
pan out for him. So everybody, help us out.
Yeah, help me out. Get your A-list subscriptions.
But Neon has also picked up Alex Ullom's next film, which is 4x4 The Event, which will follow 8 contestants who enter an illegal sensory assault live stream where they must kill or be killed using only what they can order online.
I love that. That sounds so fun.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, and I'm really fucking excited.
That is the best back with the box I've heard in a while.
I'm so fucking pumped. I didn't actually know that's what it was about. I just knew the title of the film, and I was just like,
that's crazy.
And that's one of my favorite subgenres. Like, people stuck in a place and they have to get out. Like, especially if it's a reality show, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am so on board.
And if it's filmed like modern reality TV, like I hope it has the meta context to make fun of, like, what are the shows you watch, Anna? Love Island,
And I think Alex Ullom, gives me the vibes that he can totally handle that. So I'm excited. It has a fun cast. I'm not going to go through it now, but look it up. It's people and names you'd recognize. So very fun.
I did want to say, so for us seeing this, Hannah and I said we saw it before on Letterboxd. We also then went to Scream Unseen, and it ended up being the movie. And I was kind of pissed because I was on like Reddit where the people talk about it, and everyone on the East Coast tells everyone on the West Coast what it's going to be. And like, oh, it's only It Ends. Why are we seeing a movie that's unseen that everyone's already seen, back a year ago on the Letterboxd thing? And I was like, guys, like, shut up. Be happy that we have this movie in theaters. It's a big deal.
Also, like brother, it's like $6 for your.
It's caused nothing. I had a bunch of people being like, all right, great, I'm not going. I was hoping it was Buddy. And I was like, go see the movie.
So excited for Buddy.
Yeah,
that I think
we've already seen
like crazy blinders on for this being the Scream Unseen film. I also think it's not like a traditional horror film in any sense of the word, and I do think what it's doing isn't going to resonate with everybody. So when people were shitting on it after Scream Unseen, I wasn't like shocked by it, but I am kind of annoyed by it nonetheless.
Yeah, I also think that it's like you got to see it in the theater. That's so much better than watching it at home.
Exactly. Like, what are we bitching about? It was so fun in a theater.
Well, the people that were bitching are the ones that just sold their tickets or, didn't go. So,
or who saw it and just like weren't trying to engage with what the movie was actually doing. So,
actually, in meta commentary, even if you saw the movie or you sold your ticket, it ends.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Thanks,
Brian.
That's not the first time either of us are going to make a joke like that during this episode. So be prepared.
Speaking of that, I did want to say though, can you guys guess what the Rotten Tomato scores are for this? We don't normally do that, but there is such an interesting discrepancy between critics and audience scores, which you could assume would happen with this one, but it's
I saw it like a couple I know it's in the 90s for critics. It's like 94.
I'm gonna Price is Right them in 93.
It's 93.
Gotcha.
And then the critics, the other one is low because people are media illiterate. So
go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. Is it in the 60s, maybe 62?
I was gonna guess it's in the 40s, like 47.
49.
Oof. People are so lame.
And hey, what I gotta say is that 51% of people need to sharpen their media literacy skills.
All right, well, don't say that. It's not even media literacy. It's more like...
No, I think it
is.
I think it's wrong expectations. I think a lot of people went into this thinking it was going to be like a jump scare, we're on a road, whatever, and it really just ends up being this avant-garde like meditation on existence.
Boy, if you want a jump scare on a road, I have a movie for you. A wonderful 2026 auteur film, if you will, Passenger.
Well, I have a movie for you, the 2026 cold open of Passenger, and then you can stop.
No, wrong.
One could say
the whole movie's so
honestly,
funny.
You could watch the trailer for Passenger.
Oh,
and I
even
think
more
that
true.
You've gotten all of the good stuff right there.
Yeah, you could literally, watch the trailer or stop at the title card.
Honestly, I had so much fun with that fucking movie.
Me
it's
too.
a hot mess,
so did I.
But damn, it's different.
The first 10 minutes is very different than the next hour and a half.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Just a few more quick fun facts here. Alex Ullom was asked like what his director inspirations were, and he said Richard Linklater, Terrence Malick, and Instagram Reels. And I thought Matt would enjoy that immensely.
That is hilarious.
And
that nails it.
Yeah, it tracks.
Truly.
And the interviewer said, "Do you have any favorites you follow?" And he said, "No, I just love brain rot."
Yeah, I've been a little too into the Reels recently. I gotta cut back.
I know that he directed it, and like the point is that he said those are things that inspired him. But damn, truly encapsulates this movie in a in that's incredible.
Instagram Reels, I was like, I mean, like I see all of those things, but the Instagram Reels I was cracking up over because there is so much brain rot meme content in this movie that cracked me up, but also like we're the exact right age range and amount of online to have all of that.
What it really does, it makes the characters feel very authentic because it's really grounded in this moment. Mm-hmm. And then also kind of grounds the film in reality when a very out there crazy thing is happening. So for them to feel like these are, them being no names help as well, because it makes them feel like they're like actually people that I talk to, or me, myself, because like this is the shit I'd be saying.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I was like, oh, I've had this exact
asphalt companies before. Be like big ups is something that Hannah and I've been saying a bunch recently.
Yes. We've been walking around quoting that one an offensive amount. A last fun fact, and this is just because I feel like it shows you Alex Ullom's insight into the project itself. People have been comparing him a lot to Curry Barker and King Parsons because that's two people of, similar age range who just had their first theatrical film debuts. And he said, I don't see this film as something next to Obsession or Backrooms at all. Kane and Curry both honed their craft for years on YouTube. All that stuff was there. It ends. That was their trial and error process. It ends was literally this thing that took us 6 years to scrap together. It's more like Curry's first movie, Milk and Cereal. And that's why it's so crazy that it's coming out in theaters. It honestly blows my mind. It makes no sense.
Gotta love that.
I was like, I love you, buddy. And also, I have feelings about those comparisons and which films I like more and what my ranking is. So we'll get into that later. Real quick, on social media, our prompt for this week was, what is your favorite existential horror movie? Because I think this movie really be hitting me in my existential dread. So I'm just going to read through that real quick. Watch This Film Blog said, Na Hong Jin's The Wailing feels like the right amount of inevitability to work in this genre. Fun fact, we'll be covering that very soon, so stay tuned. Brits by Hobnob said Cure, which is a great pick.
And we have an episode on that with Brit and the Revisionist Almanac. So.
Yep. Front Erection said The Harbinger. Steinmetz.Ethan said Donnie Darko, which we also have an episode on. Heather J. Stewart said, I think The Shining counts, ?
Yeah.
Maybe ? If so, I'll say that. Having an existential crisis, wondering if that counts. I'll stop there because we've been yapping and I want to yap about this movie more specifically.
Yeah, those are good.
So we talked about kind of our initial viewing experiences around this. 2 of us have seen it in theaters. I've seen it twice in a theater. You've seen it once. Brian has seen it once in a theater. But let's talk about our actual feelings on the film itself, how good we think it is, all that jazz. Brian, why don't you get us started? How do you feel about this film and why?
Love this movie. However, I'm bummed because I counted it in my list of favorite movies last year, so I can't include it in 2026.
You totally could.
I know. I don't. Maybe we'll see.
I will be.
But if I don't follow my own rules, who will? Who will, I say? Because I don't know. I'll consider it, but I think this is a fantastic movie. This movie is very much my jam. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to kind of talk through it. But yeah, I'll stop there just in terms of it was so refreshing.
I completely agree. I feel like this movie does something that I feel like I haven't seen done in a lot of other things. I think that there aren't a lot of movies that kind of capture how I view the world like this one does.
Sure.
And how I kind of like think about what my future looks like as a human being. And I do think there's this very young millennial Gen Z way of viewing the world based off like how we've grown up and things that have happened in our lifetime and how like the state of especially America has changed over our lifetime and the American dream being dead and like all of the shit that like I think
you get into themes
very well represented in this movie. And I think that is like one of the reasons why it stands out so significantly to me.
I like this movie a lot. I think they're doing so much with so little, mm-hmm. which can anytime. I mean, it's a bottle movie. You know, we're in a car this entire time. The chemistry between the actors is really amazing, and without it being good, this movie would flop hard. And that also is a testament to the writing as well to keep us very entertained while in a kind of just slow moving car. And lastly, I think it is a tough watch, not because it's slow, but because it kind of gives me this pit in my stomach throughout mm-hmm. of this, you know, dread that these characters are feeling from this slowness, which makes it like not one of my favorite films to watch, but one that I think is like very moving and good. And I think there's enough levity that it helps. So
yeah, I agree. I think this movie is so funny, and I think part of that, like you mentioned, is the chemistry between the different actors, and I think they all have like a really great comedic timing. I feel like the conversations they are having with one another are a copy and paste of conversations that I've had with some of my friends. They're mm-hmm. like very early on in the movie, they're having a conversation about like, you have to pick 2 of these 4 animal options to protect you from the other 2. And the options are 10,000 rats, 50 hawks, 5 gorillas, or 1 man with a gun. And like the debate that they're settling between the 4 of them about which ones you would pick, and then they're calling the other one an idiot for what he would pick.
Anyone that doesn't pick the rats are an idiot. 10,000 rats are so many rats. I don't think you realize how many 10,000 are.
The whole time I'm like, I'm so scared of rodents. I need them on my side, or I will just pass away from like a heart attack. Like they wouldn't even have to go near me. I'd be like, oh my god, there's too many rats, and I would
10,000 rats is so many rats.
That's so many rats. It's too many rats. I'm easily on team 10,000 rats. I'm actually really afraid of birds, so part of me also wants to go with the hawks. Like just take everything I'm really scared of and put it on my side.
Oh, I'm rats, gorillas for sure. Brian, what do we got?
Probably. I mean, honestly, probably rats. Wait, how many gorillas is it?
5.
5 gorillas. How many birds?
50 hawks. And 1 human.
It's not the guy with the gun. I'm not taking
I'm not taking the guy with the gun. 10,000 rats take out a guy with a gun.
I would say 10,000 rats. Well, here's a question. I would say 10,000 rats and the Hawks or Guy with Gun. Because with Guy with Gun, you can take out those gorillas quickly.
That's what you think. Silverback gorilla moving at you. I think it takes a couple bullets.
A lot of credit, but honestly, I would probably go birds and
rats.
That's definitely,
I think that's fair pick.
That's definitely what I have to go with. I need all of the things I'm most terrified with fighting for me. But also, I do think like 50 fierce birds could fuck some shit up.
I mean, you have the sky, then you're good.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, we have those conversations. We think that shit is funny, and the way that they're having the conversation and making fun of each other, it's so funny. The way that they make make memes of what they're going through on their phones. I was like, oh man, we be doing that.
Are you two considered millennials?
We're right on the cusp.
We're both 30, so that puts us like actually right in between. The youngest millennial's 30, the oldest Gen Z is 30. So I don't know, or maybe it's oldest Gen Z is 29.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I think we're like there's like a few years of people that I don't think they know what to do with, and that's where we sit.
We grew up with VHS and DVD side by side.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say?
Tweeners for sure.
Yeah.
Tweeners.
I had an actual box that was both a VHS and DVD player.
I mean, I had one, but that was after I had exclusively VHS.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a geriatric millennial.
We are often considered zillennials because we're right on the edge.
Interesting.
96, both are. Yep.
Because I consider myself a millennial a lot of the time because there's a lot of things Gen Z does that embarrasses me, but like we really are like right on the cusp, and we definitely share
I'm aligned more with Gen Z.
I ask that because I had a very similar experience watching this as the two of you have described in terms of this dread, this fear in your gut, and I related to a lot of these things, but I definitely I'm at a point also in my life where I don't feel the same way about life the way that I did when these people are. It's so far in my rearview mirror at this point but I remember feeling those ways, and I remember that. But I also have learned a lot of the lessons that this movie is potentially, teaching or reflecting upon. And so that's also one of the reasons why I really like this movie, because I just think that Alex Ullom is doing something pretty extraordinary from someone so young in terms of the themes that he's able to convey in a really effective manner, and the balance he has of existential dread, horror, and just insightfulness in this movie is pretty exceptional.
I completely agree. And I think part of the reason I do feel that pit is this is something I've already faced in my own life, or the feeling in my own life, and have basically done everything to avoid the stagnation that this movie portrays.
Sure.
Stagnation in, or maybe even the dread of this movie. I've tried my best to move past and be I'm not gonna be this way. I understand that we gotta do everything we can to keep our time here as fun and as happy as possible, and let's do that. So maybe I don't always like going back and seeing that past version of myself that maybe fell into these traps.
How do we feel about the filmmaking itself, the craftsmanship?
That's great. It's exactly what it's supposed to do. It's claustrophobic. It's meandering in the best way possible. I think it does a really good job with that.
And on the flip side, I think that when it's not claustrophobic, when you're getting the shots of the woods, when you're getting the shots of the people running towards the car, it's this weird juxtaposition of being able to breathe a little bit, but also being very confused about what's happening, which I think is an incredible feeling when you're relating it directly to this idea of now that you're off the track, now that you're not, it being guided by a curriculum, now that you're out in your own way of finding it, it's invigorating. It's freeing that you can take a deep breath, but also it's just like, what the fuck?
It's the wild, wild west.
Mm-hmm. I think there are a lot of shots here that I really enjoyed. I think like when they are the first moment that they have where they really realize what's going on, the people come out of the woods, the shots are so close up and tight. Like we are sitting in their emotions right there with them. These really close up shots of like them panicking, we're panicking with them.
They also have a shrunken aspect ratio during those scenes as well.
Which is
they have a widescreen.
Also, physically shrinking it in on you, which I loved. There's this really fun like existential crisis dolly zoom, as I refer to it in my notes, that I absolutely adored with Tyler. And I also, this is maybe going to sound stupid, but like they're on a road the whole fucking time and it manages to make roads not get boring after an hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I just think this is a very visually interesting movie in its simplicity. I think that it's visually stunning in some places in terms of just like every frame you can kind of like pause and it says something. There's no dead space in here. I think the colors are vibrant. It's it's really nice to get a colorful movie. I don't know if there's anything in terms of like it gets less colorful as things go on for certain people. I wasn't paying attention to that. That might be something that's in there. But overall, this is what I'll say. I was never distracted negatively by any of the actual filmmaking.
Agreed with that.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I would notice like the claustrophobic stuff and all that for the better, but there were other times where like the movie just goes and I'm never like, that was a weird edit, or I'm never like, that was a weird jump cut, or that was a weird this. Like, no, like that was a weird establishing shot. Never thought any of that.
It really places you in the car with them.
Yeah.
And like within that world. And I think that's like a good thing. And it almost kind of like lulls you into a false sense of security in the car with them.
Yeah, but I also, sorry, go for it.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I also really love like the production design here, just like what they're doing in the space of the car and how definitely. The car as a setting shifts and changes throughout the movie as time passes. I think there's a lot of clues and takeaways that you can get from what is going on in the car or what they've written with their marker in various places where their things have moved throughout the car, how they're sitting in the different seats in different periods of time. I think it's all really interesting.
I also think there's another way to look at those sequences. And yeah, they're claustrophobic, but it's tying directly into what this movie is saying about the journey. And like, the best parts are the parts where you're sitting in the car talking to everybody. Like, and I think that, yes, it's claustrophobic and it wants you to make you feel that dread. But on the flip side of things, it's like, that's the best part.
Is goofing off with the friends.
Yeah.
I do love when they get into their little routine, which I guess we'll talk about in spoilers. But
I love their little routine. Yeah. Well, let's blatantly spoil the movie at this point. I want to enter the spoiler zone because obviously we've like danced around a lot of things as it is. So.
We're there.
Yeah.
Now we're entering the spoiler zone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the spoiler zone. After this point, you're going to hear some things that you might not want to hear.
Cool. Well, so you want to do quick 15-second summaries then?
Yeah.
All right. I got mine. I can go first.
Oh, no, I want to go first. I want to go first.
No,
you're going to take mine. You're going to take mine. I want to go first.
Brian's going to want to do it. Shit. All right, fine. Go ahead. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, don't rush me.
You got 10 seconds.
Start over.
Okay.
I didn't know where I was going. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
I never should have smoked that shit. Now I'm stuck on the endless road.
I already said that. All right, my turn. We're making Brian's life the hardest. Ready? It ended.
Tough.
Yeah.
That was tough.
That means a lot of stuff. Some highbrow. All right, Brian, you ready?
No.
Do we take all your ideas?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, go ahead when you're ready.
This is the road that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. Some people started saying, we're driving it, not knowing what it was, and they'll forever driving it forever just because this is the road that never ends.
I know that song.
What is that song?
It's a song. The song that never ends.
No, I know the song. I just don't know why.
I first heard it on Lamb Chop with Sherry and Lamb Chop, but I don't know if that is where it's actually from.
Don't even know what that is.
Yep, that's me and my elder millennial, children.
I was about to say, okay, Grandpa, but I didn't even know what it was. Okay, so I was like, I don't like calling Brian old. You're young at heart.
Brian's
I want to because it's funny.
I'm also young in not at heart.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. You can totally get us. We're 30, or I'm 30 now. You're 30. Hannah's turned 30.
Last month.
You can call us Unk and Chopped.
I think I fear those words describe me too much in terms of my your online internet presence. Me when dozens of people sprint out of the woods to steal my car. Stop.
I really like that meme a lot.
It was so fucking funny.
All right. We'll cut in my full plot description here. Great. All right, cool. I said it.
That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Matthew.
Yep.
Wow.
Matt can read. It's awesome.
Sometimes.
Just sometimes. I will say for the folks at home, Matt has been reading quite a bit.
You've already said that. It's fine.
I know, but everyone needs to know. I make fun of you for being illiterate so much. I need the people to know that I'm proud of your literacy attempts.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I just don't be proud of me here, because if I were in this movie, I'd be out of the car before our first guy was out. What was his name? I would have just been like, nah, this is dumb.
Tyler.
I'm going to go lay down in the woods. Tyler 100%.
Is out at 56,000 miles.
I'm making it 10,000 probably.
I looked up how long that would mean that they were in the car for.
Okay.
If they are driving nonstop, which they are, nonstop 60 miles per hour every hour of the day, he would have been in the car for about 39 days.
Yeah, dog. I'm not making it that far. You got me about a couple days, and I'm going to be like, this is dumb. I'm going to lay down.
I would argue that that's actually one of my criticisms of the movie.
Oh, interesting.
I think passage of time could have been done a little bit better in terms of how these people were actually breaking down.
Elaborate.
39 days is a long fucking time to spend in a car.
Yes.
Not showering, not sleeping properly, and I understand
you don't need to sleep.
What?
They don't need to sleep. They never get tired or hungry.
That's the thing.
Or stinky. Well, I'm assuming.
They might be stinky. I kind of get the vibe they might be stinky based off
the
way
car
they're
feels
hanging
hot
out their
and
stuff.
stinky. Right?
It feels uncomfy and warm and itchy to me.
It just doesn't. I just think it could have captured. I don't really have any criticisms, but that one, that one,
I could buy into that as a criticism. Yeah, compared to almost anything else I've seen people complain about.
Yeah, and that's not a complaint. That's just a logistical thing that maybe they could have done something. I don't know. Even though and maybe the charm of it is you don't know how long they're actually in the car for, but I don't need a 39 days later type of thing. I just needed more of a sense of that, because 39 days
time. It's a long ass time.
That's a long time.
That's a very long time. And I just don't. What am I trying to say here? 39 days is a long time, and that feels like the amount of time that the couple would have bailed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that I don't know how well it feels established, or how long it feels established that Tyler has been in the car. But I think the jump between Tyler and when the next two get out of the car, I feel like they do a better job establishing how much time has passed.
You know what? I'll give you that. Totally. I think it's the Tyler. It's the expectation setting of how long this is actually taking. Once you get through the montage, if you will, at post Tyler,
yes,
I buy that. I totally buy that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's where I think it is for me, because I feel like the car has changed, the settings changed, they have this routine, it's very clear they've been doing the same thing for days.
For a lot of days.
And also,
a lot of weeks.
Tyler's story about not breaking up because he didn't want to go pumpkin picking.
That was so fucking funny, bro.
But he sets himself up to be such a flake, especially, and he hasn't talked to his friends, and the flake, to him, the last 39 days feels unrealistic.
That's true.
I think it's interesting. They've set Tyler up to be, out of all of his friends, he's the one who jumped into real life first, right?
Yes.
Like, he didn't go to college. He went straight into the workforce. There's one point where they're like, you want to settle down, Tyler? And he says, what the fuck else am I supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep sitting in that metal box of worry. I can't keep worrying about shit that never ends, is something that he says later. And I feel like he is very much the person in the group who is, he feels like he has the most acceptance of like what the bullshit that life is gonna be.
I said that to you right after.
He's like, and I'm out.
Wait, you think? Well, I think you think. Wait, say that again.
I feel like.
What does Tyler represent to you?
So Tyler, to me, he is the first person in the friend group who's actually faced what like real life is going to look like. Like, he hasn't been in college. He hasn't been dicking around for 4 years. Like, it kind of gives the vibe that the others have. He has a different expectation of still like what the real world looks like. And I feel like for him, he's like,
I'm not going to deal with this grind. He's like, I'm already dealing with the grind. So he's, because I see them as like staying in the car is trying to stay on the rails and do what society wants of you. And him getting out of the car is saying, no, I'm going to do this how I want to. And I feel like he's more early on is more willing to do that because he's already been on the grind for 4 years longer than the rest of them. Is that what you were saying? Because that's how I see it.
I mean, I kind of feel like I think we're all raised, or we were raised, our generation very much was like, you get older, you do really good in high school to get into a good college, you go to college, you get a job, American dream, this and that, but you have to do these things to get there. And I think at this point in our lives, we're kind of realizing that like that's not necessarily how the world works anymore. There's been a lot of changes, especially over our lifespan, that like that's just not how shit goes. And just because you do those things doesn't mean that you're going to have like a good life or a happy life. And I feel like Tyler is the person that's just like, I don't need to like sit here and worry about what my future is going to be. This is just what it is. I'm just going to fucking go do this. I don't necessarily see it as like he's making his own path or anything.
Yeah,
I think he's more accepting of like, this is the bullshit that life is. I'm just getting out of the fucking car. I think he's just so accepting of like.
Interesting. I wouldn't even use the word acceptance for him, but I understand where that's coming from.
How do you read him?
To me, he's a quitter.
Oh,
interesting.
To me, he decides to opt out entirely when something stops making sense to him, and he's very impulsive in that way. He is not. He ended a relationship because he couldn't commit to something simply, and like so like as soon as something doesn't like make sense to him, and he's not a person who's willing to explore that and do any self-reflection. So he's a defensive person who's had a tough life that gets emotional and decides to opt out entirely up front. He has no ability to commit. If the road is a stand-in for like adulthood itself, like an infinite, road, no clear destination, you don't need hunger and like all the different things you would need are stripped away. And you're purely faced with like these existential questions. His strategy is to kind of opt out when like he doesn't have the skills to like actually be self-reflecting. and move forward.
I agree with this take, yet I also am like, yeah, but I wanted to be Tyler in this situation. Like I wanted to,
I think
where I see where it goes. I was like, I've been out in a couple days.
I kind of think that there's a combination of both. I see like both kind of how I'm interpreting it with like the sense of like acceptance, but also with like what yours I understand what
like
you're
he's not
saying
even willing
and
to face
interpret
any
that
of the challenge
as well.
But it's hard to say because with the way the movie ends, the challenge is all for naught.
Would you say it ends?
Oh, it ends. It ends with the way the road ends, which spoiler, it ends. It's in the title right there. The challenge that I can't remember his name faces is James is kind of all for naught, right? Like to do it alone. And so maybe the best solution was the two in the middle who decided to stick together and say like, well, we're in it together. We made the most of this, but I think it's time to again build our own path, which is the way I kind of saw this before.
To me, sorry, go for it.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I also think it's going back to Tyler for a minute. I also think that Tyler also represents somebody who decided to do it by himself. He's a person who, in his friendships, he hasn't talked to them in a year. They have awkward conversations. They confront him about his choices in the car before we get into like, all this existential stuff. And like, he's kind of defensive about it. He kind of doesn't really give a full answer. He kind of does in some places. And, he's been trying to do, quote, life, if you will, or not even life. We can break it down to he's been trying to do this transition into adulthood with no friends. And therefore, he's the first one to opt out because, like, he doesn't. If you're taking into account what this movie is trying to say, and in my opinion, this movie is trying to say that meaning comes from companionship and conversation along the drive, even if you're not going to arrive anywhere. Like, he doesn't have that.
Yeah. I see what you mean. And so it's like James you kind of get both ends because then James goes along and refuses to even like do anything with his friends because he's too focused on the grind of getting there, which is established early on with his job and his stupid little tie at his internship.
Exactly.
And how he talks about how he's going to do this, and this, and all of it just sounds miserable. And so instead of, he's going to just be miserable to have a perceived success by societal standards and ignore his friends and most likely have 2 kids that he doesn't like and a wife that he divorces.
Yeah.
Which, he quite literally vocalizes. Yeah.
He represents this like weird, like persistence. Like he refuses to accept. If we're talking about acceptance and his persistence, he refuses to accept a journey that doesn't have a destination. Like, he is very much about like, I am going to do whatever it fucking takes to get to the thing that either I've dreamed about or that society has dreamed for me, to prove that I am worthy, that I am purposeful, or whatever the case may be. But then at the end, he gets to the end and he starts crying. And then when he turns around, he tries to pick up the other person to talk to him, because even him, in learning that, like, all of this, he's like, I mean, I see this as an optimistic movie in general, but like, he's just like, hey, I got to the end and now I'm fucking free. And like, I can just like chat it up with this guy who is the director. But like,
oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Or is it he gets to the end and learns his lessons that there was nothing there for him?
Yeah.
That's and
so now it's not that he's free from the end, but he is free knowing that it's not worth it.
He's free from his own perception
brain,
of what the end is. Yeah.
And
totally.
he's not in this search for meaning of like what life is anymore. Like his whole thing. Yes.
He also reminds me, and if you look from like the religious element, you can look at it, is like people who are diehard Christians who are like, I'm going to be miserable and suffer through this life because I will be rewarded in the next.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And for me, I got away from religion for that exact reason, where I was like, that's bullshit. I'm going to get a fun here now because there could be nothing after this. And I kind of end up, I think I like seeing that. I think maybe that is also why I want to get off the road earlier, is because I have that Catholic guilt lens that goes into it.
I think.
Go ahead. Sorry.
For me, with James, like part of why I don't resonate as much with him throughout the film is because I have much sooner reached the point of like that the others kind of end up with, which is like there is no meaning here. There is no right way to do this, and it's about what you make of the journey, like what Day and Fisher are able to do and like actually get through their days being like happy enough together. And like it's not something that they can control. All they can do is how they cope with the situation. And James, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna just
pause.
James.
I feel like he's just trying to find rationale in the whole thing, and he refuses to like actually get any enjoyment out of anything. Like the others are like trying to like cope by being silly, by talking about likes and dislikes, by like having their little dance sequences where they're learning a dance and like all this shit, and he's refusing to engage with any of it. He won't even let them eat the Cliff Bar, and I love that moment at the end where he finally eats the Cliff Bar and he's like, fuck, that's really good, and he's like crying, and it's like, you've deprived yourself of the pleasure of just eating this fucking Cliff Bar, which isn't even the food that I would want to have that whole time. I feel like they're trying to find a middle balance of like the snack that you would eat immediately versus don't want it all. And
that's exactly how I feel about a Cliff Bar.
Yes. And so I really liked that moment because it's really just showing that like he was just trying to like he was so willing to like push through and find this meaning in something that's like devoid of meaning, that he wasn't even willing to have the little things along the way that would have made him enjoy his time.
Yeah.
Oh, I did write down how long each of them is in the car for.
Okay, yeah.
And how long that meant that they were on the road for.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
That's interesting.
Because we haven't even talked about Day and Fisher when they leave.
I love Day and Fisher so much. Those motherfuckers cracked me up endlessly. Day and Fisher leave the car around 835,000 miles, which, like I said, if they drive straight through, no stopping, 60 miles per hour every mile, every minute of the day, they would be in the car for about 580 days.
Here's a question. Did that feel like just under 2 years?
Yeah, I would say it did for me.
For me, it felt like they were in the car for a really fucking long time.
Okay.
They've developed like entire life schedules and routines that they're all very used to.
Well, two of them are used to.
It's not that James is used to it happening. He just chooses not to participate.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get the feeling they've been doing this for a long time, and they've trialed and errored some of their daily schedules, and they're trying their best to cope with a situation that can't truly be coped with. Yeah, I mean, because they're trying to do some things for fun. They're doing some things to release negative feelings and energy. They have their basically therapy corner where they're like giving each other feedback. Like they've clearly instilled different strategies. They have like strategies that they used when they come across other cars. Like this is definitely something I get the vibe that they've been doing for a long time. And I also just love Day and Fisher. I think they're really fucking funny characters. They have a really great delivery. Something I wrote down that she said that I thought was so funny. She says, living in the ocean was so fucking horrible, we grew legs just to get out. And I was cracking up. And then there's the memes. I never should have smoked that shit. Now I'm stuck on the endless road.
I love that one. Stop.
Like,
asphalt companies be like, big ups.
Big ups.
Yeah, they've like made the most of it.
And then they're also the ones that are later like, there is no reason, it just happened. And I feel like they represent such an interesting middle ground, like we already talked about, between where Tyler is out with things and where James is out with things.
So they're interesting because they're the ones who are presented as like not really have any plans for the future. or just like not know. They kind of, it's wishy-washy.
I think that's kind of what makes them almost like they are two. I think they're the two characters that seem like the most mentally unstable, right? They're the two that seem to be struggling, I think, mental health wise a little bit more. Like he is having panic attacks throughout the film. She has expressed like a prior suicide attempt. So I think there could be this inclination to be like, these are the two people who are struggling the most. But I think there's also something really interesting in that it's the two people who don't have this like very static, structured plan for what their life is going to look like. And I think there are ways in which that makes it easier for them to cope with this situation.
So I completely agree with you. And I was going to say that they represent acceptance.
Yes.
They represent this idea that like, it's okay that you don't know where the road is going, so let's not fight it.
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
And that's why they feel the most relatable, because they bail at a seemingly appropriate time, you know. And you know, I don't know if getting off the road early or later or in the middle is like better or worse, obviously, because like does getting off the road mean that you're bailing out of adulthood? Does getting off the road means that like you're ready to jump in and like do it your own way in a different way? Like, I don't think any of those are strict like rules per se, because like it's not necessarily about the adulthood aspect. It's about like learning specific life's lessons. And yeah, them bailing after, 500 some days, like, feels like acceptance to them. So and I mean, that's the way it's conveyed.
What do we think that this means for all the people that are trying to steal their car?
I was just about to say that.
And get back in. Because I guess my read is that there's people that, went out off the road and they're like, no, I need to get back on the rails. I need to.
I feel like they can't accept the reality
that they're in.
Okay. And like, if I put that in real life terms, it's just like, there are always going to be people who like, I mean, I was saying this to like literally my mom and brother this weekend. We were watching a fucking like race. I don't know what even kind of cars it was because I don't care.
Whatever. It was a race.
Yeah. But the announcers were talking about like, this guy's achieved the American dream. It was some bullshit ass announcing. And I was just like muttering under my breath, annoyed, like the American dream is dead. That does not exist for the average fucking person anymore. If you were not raised with money and privilege, that dream does not exist. I won't have that the way that like I grew up thinking that maybe I would have, because I don't come from the background where I have the means to achieve that, most likely. Like that's just not it. And so I feel like the people running at the car are my mom and brother, who were like, this is something that like
trying to get back on and believing the dream is still alive.
Yes. That is how, when I kept thinking about it, I was like, oh, that's Noah.
Yeah, well, his American dream is trying to win the lottery, so
yeah, that's funny. he do be wanting to win the lottery real bad.
No, I think that's an interesting take. I don't know if I agree that the American dream is totally dead. I think it's just much harder to achieve.
Yes, I know. I would say. Dead is probably an exaggeration.
I think that there are a lot more barriers, and there are a lot more intentional barriers set up for people of low income or at least starting with nothing to achieve. That would be
I'd be exaggerating.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to specify, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I also think that the people rushing the car, they represent people who are also lost, to the road, lost to adulthood, figuring it out. Like, but I also think that they could also represent the people that you're comparing yourselves to, that you don't even know are out there. But you could also say that there are also people who are so lost that they're trying to like hijack somebody else's car instead. Like they're so lost that they're trying to hijack someone who seems to at least have wheels on their car.
Yeah.
This idea of like their followers, like, I don't know. I think they could, I think that I'm assuming that Alex Ullom and everybody like had specific ideas of what they represent in the movie to them. But what I like about those people is that they really feel like an open-ended thematic element that you can project your own feelings on based on how you are kind of traversing adulthood and that transition. And it works because it's both specific in its visuals, but vague enough in what it's trying to say. And each character seems as though, at least like in the actor's preparation, knew what those wild people, if you will, represented to those characters. So, like, it totally worked for me, regardless of what they actually represent.
Yes. I think that's something that's so interesting about this film in general. Is, like, obviously, we're all going to interpret it differently depending on, like, I'm very much, the way I'm talking about the film, I'm, like, very much pushing my own, like, readings of life for my own feelings about how I exist in the world. I'm kind of putting that on this film because I do think it's open-ended enough that it lays the groundwork.
Well, even if it's open-ended, I have another fun interpretation. So these are the people that society tells you you're more lucky than because you are on the rails. They're the ones that it's like, hey, good one. Yeah, they're not real, but they're like the rabid, impoverished people that it's like, or the starving children in Africa when you're not eating your dinner, as your parents might have said. Like you have it better than someone else because you're out here grinding, even though you feel like you're wasting your life away at maybe a dead end job or grinding to go paycheck to paycheck. But hey, there's still people out there that would, steal your car on the street because you're lucky to be in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one too.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, I like it.
So maybe they're not actually real people because I think it would be kind of mean to portray people off the road as that, but they're your own manifestation of that. Or your own guilt, even, to be like, well, I should be happy. At least I have the car.
Yeah.
At least I got the endless road. The asphalt companies be like, big ups.
Big ups. Stop. Do you want to hear what Alex Ullom said in an interview?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. No, go ahead.
I do.
Okay.
And I think your listeners want to know.
Yes, probably. So this was an excerpt from an interview I was reading. Not all of this is a direct quote, but it says, it ends as a reflection of the many issues facing Gen Z as they graduate from college and stumble into a world that seemingly no longer works the way it once did. At this point, he says, young people are just looking for any viable path to follow. The film's endless road turns that desire into something surreal and sinister. We've been given directions to destinations that don't exist anymore.
That's good. Yeah. Dog, people that talk about the American dream was the GI Bill and strong unions, neither of which exist for our generation. Like, it wasn't anything hard work. It wasn't anything special that they did work. It was literally like, here's a cheap house because you fought in the war, and here's a really strong union that will break somebody's legs if they don't pay you appropriately, both of which are gone.
You tell
So that's like, maybe it is dead for those reasons, but to act like it's something like where they had to achieve more or work harder is just complete horseshit. Considering like what was actually out there in terms of social programs to help families get started and support themselves. So whatever. I don't disagree that people like worked hard. It's just like, I don't think we're working any less hard. These generations are working any less hard. We just don't have specifically those two things to help us. So that's it. That's my rant. Boomers love to act like the GI Bill didn't exist. I will say.
Yeah, bro.
But
they
just
really
like that is the huge one that we don't have. Like unions, whatever, we still have them. They're just not as strong. But that one is like, that was just free money.
I am going to read a few more quotes from the movie that resonated with me a lot. And then I want to share how far James made it in terms of driving and how long he was technically alone for. Okay, so a few quotes that I did want to share. Do you think one day we'll have talked about everything ever?
No.
Because I relate to that a lot. Sometimes.
I said I would have just played D&D for a bunch of years straight through. I think I could have survived doing that.
How you cope. That's another question.
We would have just made dice out of like wood. We got a knife and
so not to like veer off from what I literally just said I was going to do. Brian, what are you doing to entertain yourself? Like, what are you adding to their routine to entertain yourself? We're adding D&D for sure.
4 hours a day.
I think some choir time, especially if Jason Seaman's in the car.
Some singing. I like that.
Some harmonizing.
Yeah.
Some really fucked up harmonies.
No, I like that.
Probably with our friend group.
We're going to have Seven Bridges Road by the Eagles nailed by the end. All right.
I would add like a theater troupe.
Yes, for sure. We have Matt Dalton has been writing his play. I'm sure
we're gonna write like 60 plays.
We'll be performing that whenever we stop, like staging new scenes. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
And we perform for the people rushing the car.
Exactly, they'll love it. That'll keep them. That'll get them.
Yeah, culture will keep them at bay.
Exactly. They just need more culture. That's what they're saying.
Kind of a good point.
And we would also reenact the film The Boy.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, there's actually a fifth person living in the car secretly between the seats.
Yeah, they've just had someone back
with a little
there
doll
under the belt.
Yeah, we make the doll out of wood.
That's beautiful. I think we should do that. I'm hoping we have some good supplies in the back of the car.
I'll get you back on the road, if you will. That back does happen to end.
Ha ha ha.
This podcast does end.
What if we're supposed to suffer here? What if that's the point?
Oh,
and then one of them says, well, then that's bullshit.
And that was one of the things for me that I've like at least come to the conclusion on about like life in general is I will not accept that we're here to like suffer. Mm-hmm. But I also will not accept that I need to suffer to have a happy ending somewhere else. I'm going to spend my money and do fun shit now and I'm not going to worry about it. That's future Matt's problem.
Sure.
You know? So I do like that quote because maybe I live a little too much like that. Yes. I know you do as well because we're just like, fuck it. We're going to travel. We're going to do fun stuff. Like,
that'd be me.
I'm not going to be miserable now so that I can, you know, at 65 be decrepit. Sorry, not actually decrepit. My mom's old.
Your mom is old.
Your mom's old. 65. She's not decrepit at all. But you know what I mean? I'm not going to wait.
That?
What?
YOLO.
Yeah, exactly.
We be YOLOing hard, I will say.
But I'm not. Yeah, I just have to because you could die. You could end up on an endless road any day, and then your life is over. So.
Yeah,
you never know. One wrong turn.
Well, that's what I was
never
saying.
Should have smoked that shit.
I was trying to find a way to incorporate that one back into the conversation again too. Yeah, no, I feel like that really describes like how I have lived my adulthood because I feel like I grew up with so much financial insecurity, and then as an adult, I'm like, well, one, my loan's going to exist no matter how intensely I'm trying to pay them off right now. They're not going to disappear overnight. That's just not going to happen. So I might as well use my money in ways that bring me happiness and joy. If I'm always going to have some form of my student loan debt lingering there, what's the fucking point in making choices that don't at least make me happy?
Yeah. I will say I think I'm lucky to have had parents that, well, one, worked hard, also partied hard.
Yeah,
and also did fun things and was like, we're going on cool trips and we're doing this. And they were like, they very much had the YOLO mentality before YOLO existed.
Yeah.
And, well, again, they worked hard so that they could do that stuff. We did it.
They worked hard so they could play hard.
Exactly.
I did not have that at all, but I've adopted that mentality.
You adopted it. Yeah. Well, that's why you married me because I have that mentality. I was having that mentality when I did not have enough money to have that mentality. Which is still kind of
I know. I know that because
I was doing silly stuff and being like, ooh, I don't have too much money in this bank account right now. It's all right. I'm saving money now.
Yeah. Okay. Last quote. There is no reason. It just happened.
It just happened. Yeah. Facts. It's life.
Yep.
Make the most of it.
So James ends up on the road for approximately 764 days of 24/7 driving.
Wow. Oh, so that's after they...
No, that's total.
Oh, total.
So that means he was probably in the car for approximately 200 days by himself.
Woo! Before hitting the end.
Yes.
That's not terrible.
And again...
I thought it'd be worse.
This is assuming no stopping, no brakes,
no pee-pee.
No pee-pee.
You didn't have to.
We don't know if they go pee-pee. They don't need to eat. They don't need to sleep. They probably don't need to go pee-pee.
Yep. My guess is they don't have to go pee-pee poop.
Well, they have the catheters from the endless screening.
Oh, that's right.
So we don't have to worry either way. Okay, guys. Let's rank this compared to the other 2026 Gen Z theatrical releases.
Okay. I'm in.
Since it's being compared already, we might as well just
name them.
So, Obsession, It Ends in Backrooms.
This is very easy for me.
All right, your last place. Backrooms,
by far. Yeah. There's a huge gap. To me, it's In 3 is Backrooms, in 2 is It Ends, and 1 is Obsession. And the gap between Backrooms and It Ends is tremendous.
I have the exact same list, including the tremendous gap.
Me as well. I will say, I think Obsession is like an overall better made movie, but It Ends resonates with me a lot more.
It Ends
I
is
have
just so
them
different.
ranked the exact same.
Sure.
Though.
All right, I told you I
same.
didn't have a hot take. I do have a hot take.
What's your hot
My
take?
hot take is that Lost Highway and It Ends should change names and nothing would be confusing or different.
Yes. I don't think that's
like
hot.
that? Has anyone else said that before? It Ends could be Lost Highway. I mean, again, Lost Highway, that name doesn't even really make sense for that movie. It Ends would make more sense.
I think either name is fitting.
Yeah. What if Lost Highway was called Dick Laurent is Dead? That'd be a cool ass name.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
At any time we see a movie with driving sequences at night
with the headlights from the
say,
pop of the headlights.
I'm really getting Lost Highway vibes from this.
Every single time.
And so we...
Every single movie. Getting some Lost Highway vibes from this.
We whispered that back and forth quite a bit on recent watch of It Ends. Like, excessively.
Every single time. First time that anyone's ever shot headlights. We did the same thing watching Twin Peaks The Return. There was a shot, like, getting Lost Highway vibes for him.
Same director, so I mean, that one tracked.
Also, literally part of Twin Peaks became the movie Lost Highway, so.
Yeah. So super tracks,
Yep.
baby.
All right.
My hot take is this is a top 5 horror release of this year.
Whoa.
So far.
Brian probably would agree, although he has it in 2025.
Yeah, I can't agree because it doesn't.
Where did you put it in 2025?
I put it 2025 horror.
I have it crazy
at number 5.
I had it at number 3.
You're ranking it in both, you psycho.
I don't know where well, theatrically it came out this year, but I did see it last year and it got its first kind of baby release last year. So it's a kind of confusing conundrum that I'm having.
But the thing is, I count the letterbox as the masses being able to have access to it.
Yes, I agree. I think it's going to come down to like with my anxiety, if I'm having anxiety fitting it and liking where I have it ranked for 2026, then I will have decided it can just stay on 2025.
Cool.
All right, well, let's rate this thing then.
Yeah.
Is that allowed? Can we do it?
Yeah.
All right. My rating scale from 1 to 10, I'm giving this movie I will give it an 8.
Okay. Whew, I
was going to give it like a 7.5, but I think the conversation bumped it to an 8.
7.5 too low, Buster. Where are you, Brian?
I'm probably at an 8. I think this is an 8 for me.
I'm gonna go an 8.8.
Okay.
I love this movie a lot.
Good. All right, Dalton endorsement scale, -5 to +5.
It's a +5 for me, dog. I like it a lot. It resonates with me a lot. And I think it's really cool the way this movie was picked up and is giving this person an opportunity. I just think the whole story is really cool. So I'm like, spend money. Go to movie theater.
I'm feeling a +2 on this one.
Fucker.
Only because I think that as we saw from the reaction after the movie, this is not for everybody.
It's not, no.
There are movies I would recommend beforehand, but if you want like a kind of meditative, interesting, very timely piece by a young filmmaker, like this is definitely for you.
Yeah, I think a +5 is clearly far too overzealous. I'm just pushing.
Of course. It's no Camp Miasma. I'm sorry. All right.
I liked it more. Sorry.
Whoa.
I know that's fucked up.
That's a bad take. Bad take. Pitchforks are coming.
That's okay.
Brian, what are we feeling?
Probably +3.5, +4, maybe.
Ooh, okay.
Hell yeah, brother.
Right. I like it.
I think that's a realistic score for me.
All right. Well, we all like this movie. I said I think I'd recommend people like go if this is what you're looking for, go see it. I don't want to be like you have to see this because I do think it's not for everybody.
Not for
I would say if you think you're going to dig this movie, make an effort to go see it in movie theaters. If you think that this is maybe not up your, not for you, and maybe you, I don't know, totally acceptable to watch it at home and get a feel for it.
Agreed. That's how Brian and I both watched it. So.
I think that's
true.
Valid.
Very true. And we liked it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're wrapping up. So, Brian, tell everyone where they can find you one more time. And his links will be there. They will not rickroll you, I promise.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We are Talking Horror with Jamie and Nikisha. And then you can find us at Talk Horror Pod. That's at Talk Horror. Oh, I can't even say it. At Talk Horror Pod on Instagram and the TikTokies.
If it makes you feel better, most of the time when I say our podcast name, I'm almost 1,000% confident I'm just saying horror.
We got to change our name. It's impossible to say. I don't know what to change it to. It's been too long. Horror Hour with the Hannahs. Yep. Horror Hour.
I've had like our like captions for things show up as that I'm saying horror.
Yeah,
like
and also me being born and bred in Pittsburgh makes it even harder for me to say all of these words. Like I really want to be like Horror Hour.
Yeah,
Horror Hour with the
disgusting.
Hannahs. Like,
don't do that to me.
It's not good.
Gross.
I have to Horror Hour. We did it. All right. We're being obnoxious now. So, Brian, thank you again so much for joining us.
Brian
got silent after I started being weird, and I was like, it's time to wrap it up.
It's always fun being here. And I'm glad we got to talk about this one.
Definitely. The Boy 2 Brahms Returns episode coming. When?
No, I'll never rewatch that. That movie sucks.
What is that movie actually called?
The Boy 2 Brahms or something like that.
It's
Brahms, The Boy 2.
The Boy 2. Get it right, Matt. Jeez Louise.
It's very bad.
All right. Well, Brian, again, I said a bunch, but thank you so much. And everyone out there, thank you for listening.
Having me. It's always a pleasure to hang with you.
Of course. Same with you. Follow Brian. Follow Talking Horror. Follow us. 5-star reviews, please. We need them.
Thank you.
People be hating. So, yep. Thank you all, though. We'll check you next time. This has been Horror at the Hannahs. Stay tuned
and stay scared.
You went out of order.
It ends.
It does end. This podcast
is ending.
Ends.
Thank you for listening to Horror Hour with the Hannahs. Make sure to listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever else you can find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube, where we post episodes and shorts. You can follow us at Horror Hour with the Hannahs on TikTok and Instagram, as well as at Horror Hour on Blue Sky for more content. If you like the podcast, please follow and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Happy hauntings!